There was a verse in Romans 12:2 I want to share with you guys. It says, "Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect." And there's this premise in marriage that you guys will learn, that there's always going to be a temptation every single day you wake up to conform to the way the world does marriage. And that's something you have to fight daily. You have to fight daily to overcome that and look back to one another and look to God and be united again to fight for each other.
They say when you know, you know. And from the first time Rayna and I went to a barrel race together, I knew the reason why I wasn't given the sister I always wanted as a kid. That's because I'd meet her at the age of 16 and we'd be attached to the hip from then on. I've always admired Rayna's kindness, her ability to forgive, her strength and her determination, and most importantly, her ability to eat all the McDonald's she wants and never gain a pound. Rayna and I have a very special friendship, one that's genuine, true, and honestly, it really just works. It's the kind of friendship where you know what the other one needs before they say it, the kind when you finish each other's sentences, the kind that is effortless and adds nothing but light to your life. We've spent more time together than most. We've traveled thousands of miles to and from barrel races, hyped up on caffeine, living off gas station food, and singing country songs at the top of our lungs. We both survived love gone wrong, tried again and watched each other fall in love, and now get married. Rayna helped me survive nursing school, and I helped her do the same a year or so later, and then we both lost our grandmas. And Rayna, I know yours is looking down from heaven, and she would be so proud of you, and Josh too. Now, here's the part where I'm supposed to give some advice to the newlyweds. The truth is, marriage is something that you learn as you go. It's full of adventure, and it can be wildly exciting if you let it. Don't ever take a day for granted. Never go to bed angry, because time is all we have, and trust me when I say that it flies by. Always put each other first. Don't forget to show one another that you love them, and never be afraid to say I'm sorry. Marriage is hard work, but it's the greatest thing you will ever do. Now, a toast to my two favorite people. I wish you guys many, many years of love, happiness, and adventure.
This marriage thing is really not for the selfish. Like, if you come into marriage will strip you of your selfishness. Marriage will humble you. Like, marriage is a journey. I wrote here, marriage isn't for those that want their own way all the time. Marriage is not for those that are prideful at heart. Marriage isn't for the one who wants to win the argument every time. You know what I'm saying? Marriage is not for the ones that wants to be above the other person, right? Like, marriage is actually the opposite. You get married, and what the Lord calls us to do is to actually get under the other person and to serve them and to wash their feet and to do things that actually deny ourselves daily for their benefit. And it's crazy that you're doing that. It's crazy that you're doing that. And I want you to realize today that that's in the eyes of God, that is a beautiful thing. What marriage is, and the fact that you're choosing to do that, that's a beautiful thing, because it is selfless. It's not selfish. Marriage is just a journey of humility, a journey of negotiation. Forever and ever you will be negotiating. Marriage is a journey of compromise. There are going to be some days where you're going to think to yourself, I don't want to do that, Josh. And you're going to end up doing it because you're compromising. And vice versa, Josh. Whenever Rayna feels like there's something very important, you're going to have to compromise. And it's going to be tough. And it's going to feel like you really, really want to do that other thing. But it's this journey of compromise. It's a journey of trust, developing trust and earning each other's trust. It's a journey of being one and continuing to, as I said, come against that lie that says you ought to be separate, you ought to be different, you ought to be not together, not we, not us, but just Rayna and just Josh. Today, you're making a spiritual covenant to say we are going to be one.
Josh, you are hands down one of the best people I know. And no, I'm not just saying that because you're my brother. I mean, you're literally the shit. Like, seriously. There's one very, very vivid memory. It's like one of the only things I really remember with Josh. And I'll never forget it. I'm not sure how old we were. I just know that we were young. Josh and I were out front in the Shell driveway, and Josh was playing with his new BB gun. And me, as his little sister, was just sitting there watching him. Well, Josh cocked the BB gun back, shot it at the floor, and I had a BB up my nose. Literally in my nose. And I just remember looking at each other and him being like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh my God. I've always said that no girl deserved Josh because he was just too good, until Rayna came along. Rayna, there's no better person for Josh than you. I remember 7 years ago when you first came around, I thought to myself, yes, finally, I like this one. I've waited my entire life to have a sister, and today is the day I can finally say I have the best one. I mean, finally. It took 7 years. The majority of Rayna and I's phone calls over the past couple years consisted of conversations about what was taking Josh so long to put a ring on it, but here we are. Rayna, you're one of the most beautiful people inside and out, and our family is beyond lucky to have you. You push yourself and Josh to be better every single day. You never give up on your dreams, and you're one heck of a time. With that being said, I'm so happy for the both of you. The love you two share is something special, and I can't wait to watch you guys begin your life as husband and wife and see all that you two accomplish together. I wish you guys a lifetime of happiness together, and I love you both with my entire heart. Cheers.
God created marriage to give us an idea of what he wants with us. That's ultimately the purpose of marriage. Marriage is a reflection, an image, a metaphor that's very, very real for you guys, that essentially says, I as God want to be one with you. I want to have trust with you. I want to have love between us. I want you to submit to me willingly, lovingly, joyfully, you know? And so that is what the what is, okay? So I wanted to share that with you, that marriage is going to be an opportunity for you to play that image out of you and God and being united one day, okay? So why would we do that? Why would we put ourselves through like humility every day? Like, I can tell you how many times I get frustrated at my wife, or I'm like, gosh, I want to do something completely different, you know, or you're just not being reasonable or whatever, and the same, vice versa, right? Why would we do that? Why would we make that choice? The reason why, and we all have to ask ourselves this question, is why are we here? Like, what's the purpose of this life, right? Like, why are we living day in and day out and making the choices that we make? The reason why is because God has given us this life to become like him, okay? That's the why. And so marriage becomes a beautiful tool, right, to humble the heck out of you. In Matthew 5:48, Jesus said to his disciples, you are to be perfect. I'm going to say that to you today. You are to be perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. So I want to tell you today, as you're getting married, the standard is love. That's the standard. The standard is not what the world tells you the standard is. The standard is not what your friend's marriage looks like. That's not the standard. The standard is love. Jesus is saying, be perfect as our Father in heaven is perfect. And so that's the why. The why is every single day, Josh, you're going to wake up with an opportunity to become more like Jesus by loving Rayna in a sacrificial way. And the same thing to you, Rayna. Every day you're going to wake up with an opportunity to love this man and encourage him in the way that Jesus would. And at the end, when you guys are no longer here and we're in eternity, you're going to be a product that you never thought you would be.
Josh, my little brother, my gambling buddy, but most importantly, my best friend. And Carly said it so perfect, you are the shit. The person that nobody dislikes. Josh Johnson, I know him. Everywhere I go, everybody knows you. Everybody likes you. I'm like, that's my little brother, man. He is the best in the world. Grandpa Johnson gave us this 14, 15-foot boat. Man, it was the best at the time. We ripped it, and all of a sudden Josh got this idea. Let's chop it. Let's make it this nice boat. Okay, that's fine. That's a great idea. But what did he do with the motor? Oh, it went on this little 12-foot John boat where the transom was this big. So we shim it with some blocks. I'm out there riding it one day after school. Josh is suspended from school. So we're behind great-grandpa Hirschberg's house, right? And I'm riding. Mom's up on the back deck. Josh comes out. I'm riding by myself. Josh comes out. Hey, let me on. I said, dude, you're grounded. You got to get back in the house. I said, no, just let me on. I got to show you something. I'm like, oh, this ain't going to be good. So he hangs out behind Grandpa Hirschberg's house where nobody can see us. Well, he goes down, turns back, and he's hitting it. And I'm looking forward. He's driving. I'm like, next thing you know, I hear the motor rev, and I'm like, what in the hell? Next thing you know, it's like, shh, 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 shh. I look back, I said, Josh's eyes had to have been this big around. I said, what the hell happened? The motor fell off. I said, what the hell do you mean? Why didn't you hang on to that mother? It was going everywhere. I said, this ain't gonna be good. So we had this little anchor. I'm up there throwing it back in. Dive crew out for the sheriff's department, tries to find it. Nobody can find the motor, but that's gotta be my best memory of growing up with you. But
I think this is the part I get most excited about to tell people, because the what and the why, yeah, they're very important, but how in the heck do we do that? Like, how do we gather the strength to be faithful to these vows you're gonna make today until death do you part? Like, how do you do that? How do you come back together when, Josh, you don't agree with Rayna, and Rayna, you don't agree with Josh, and you go to one room and you go to the other room, and now, like, you got to figure it out. Like, you just are not in agreement, right? Like, how is that going to work out? You only have one room. There you go. So you better figure how, right? So the how is Jesus. That's the how, okay? I tell people all the time, I love marriage because there's no way to do it without God. There's just no way. Now, if you do it without Jesus, you'll have a marriage, but it'll be bland and it'll be bitter, and sometimes it will be unforgiving, and sometimes it just won't have all the life and all the abundance that God wants it to have.
First off, I want to thank my wife for creating this girl right here. I am just so amazed by her. I'm so amazed by you. You've done a wonderful job. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for her. I want to thank Rayna. I did not think as a dad I could be any more proud or love her more than I do right now. Looking at you in your wedding dress next to your husband, who I love to death. And I thank you so much for choosing Josh to be your husband. Thank you for this day. Thank you for Josh. Next, I want to thank Tammy and Todd for raising Josh to be the man that he is. For raising him to the point that he chose Rayna to be his wife, to be his life partner. Thank you guys so much. I never imagined growing up that our kids would I never imagined us having kids to begin with, and now our kids have mingled together and they are married. It's amazing. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. There's been two people up here that said he's a shit, and I gotta agree, he is the shit. Everybody agree with me, Josh is a shit? Yes. Thank you. Rayna, you married the shit. Okay. Josh, I want to thank you for being the man that you are, and thank you for choosing Rayna to be your wife. Josh is a shit. I mean, Rayna, you're okay, but Josh is a shit, man. He just tickles me. And hey, but seriously, I am so glad that you chose Rayna to be your life partner and finish your days with her. Truly, Rayna needs all the help, all the guidance that she could get, and there's no doubt in my mind that you will not supply that for her. I truly agree that she has found the perfect man, and I truly agree that you have found the perfect woman. So thank you both. I'm not a very religious man, but I mean, I got to thank God for making this happen, because this doesn't happen without him. I know that you guys are meant for each other, and it's going to last. So thank you, Josh, for having the patience, waiting it out, and choosing Rayna to be your wife. Thank you. So,
Marriage is the first block for children and grandchildren, and things that are built upon a strong foundation, which is supposed to be marriage. The where is going to be important when you guys have children that are asking you what the direction is, and direction is very, very important. Vision is very, very important. And so the where is, if you ever wonder, if you ever are doubting, confused, why am I doing this? What direction are we going? The direction is to glorify him.
I'm Rayna's sister, for those of you who don't know. So I've known Rayna for almost 29 years now. And when you've known somebody for that long, you get to form a really special relationship with that person. You are so brave. You never miss an opportunity for adventure. You take chances and leaps of faith that sometimes scare us all. You're beautiful on the outside, but you have a beautiful heart. And I know if she could, Graham would tell you how breathtaking you are tonight and how proud she is of you for all that you've accomplished. Okay. And she would be really proud of you, Josh. I know you've heard the words "finally" a lot and "about time," but I agree 100% with Alejo that it's good that you took your time and you asked Rayna to be your wife in your own time, because marriage is not something to be rushed into, and it is a commitment that shouldn't be taken lightly. So I'm glad that you took your time and asked her when you were ready. The two of you are going to make an amazing team. Thank you for believing in her dreams, supporting her crazy ideas, and loving her. Remember to slow down in life, just be happy. No doubt there are gonna be arguments, but just learn to talk about it. Don't let it linger. Forgive and have the absolute best times of your life. I love you both. To Rayna and Josh.
Repeat after me, Josh. In the name of God, I, Josh,
In the name of God, I, Josh,
take you, Rayna,
take you, Rayna,
to be my wife,
to be my wife,
to have and to hold
to have and to hold
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poor,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish
to love and to cherish,
until we are parted by death.
until we are parted by death.
This is my solemn vow.
This is my solemn vow.
All right. Now, Rayna, it's your turn. Good job. All right, Rayna. No pressure.
I won't spit on it, don't worry.
So repeat after me, Rayna. Say, it worked. In the name of God, I, Rayna,
In the name of God, I, Rayna,
take you, Josh,
take you, Josh,
to be my husband,
to be my husband,
to have and to hold
to have and to hold
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish
to love and to cherish,
until we are parted by death.
until we are parted by death.
This is my solemn vow.
This is my solemn vow.
So this is the moment, guys. This is the moment. If you guys would rise as we do this. I want you to stand on your feet to celebrate this. Josh and Rayna, by the power vested to me by the church, I want to pronounce you husband and wife. Can you give it up for that before we keep going on? Prepare your lips. I want you to take your time, Josh. You may kiss your bride. Come on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to present to you for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Joshua Johnson. Come on, give it up for them. Come on. Woo!
I'm not really sure what happened just now. It's all a blur from when you walked in, walked out. I'm used to being on the ready, but you got me unsteady. Driving home, going in circles with questions. Something about you's got me pulled new directions. I'm not used to second guessing, but you got me unsteady. And now I can't stop thinking about you. Trying to sleep, but no pillow will do. I'm running my mind over time. I stay wide as the moon. Girl, you know I can't stop thinking about you. Am I insane or you feeling it too? Wonder if I'm flying blind. Your vibes got me high as the moon. I'm thinking about how on earth I'm gonna see you again. Wondering if that dude was more than a friend. I know I got a reputation, but right now I feel like I'm taken.